Hi friends, I'm excited to announce that my blues album, Lost and Found, A Love Story, will be released on all the media platforms March 1st. We're talking Amazon, iTunes, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all those funny names. Physical CDs will also be available. So be watching wherever you buy your music, pick it up, and enjoy. On to the video. I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater. Journey with Fear. I just got to see Journey in Seattle a couple of months ago, and they didn't seem especially scared to me. Then again, I'll bet they've never been on the Seaview. The year is 1981, and we're testing a new underwater launch system for spacecraft. There's a launch pad in the missile room, and Mr. Morton and another guy are in the test capsule ready to blast off. They're supposed to reach space, orbit the Earth 3 times, and come back. Emphasis on supposed to. The Space Exploration Agency is monitoring everything. All systems are go, so launch.
Ignition.
It appears that we're launching them into space on top of a Polaris nuclear missile, but if it works.
Maneuvering. Trim port side ballast.
Then halfway up, it transformed into, I believe that's the Saturn V rocket that became America's primary launch vehicle for a long time. It was a big step forward, developed by that paragon of American patriotism, Dr. Wernher von Braun. Yeah, the same guy who rained the V-2 onto London during World War II. If you haven't heard Tom Lehrer's song about him, I'll try to remember to link it in the description. But Saturn V Polaris, it doesn't matter because it's not going to make orbit anyway.
Watch for malfunction on the orange and red signals. Check orange and red signals for any malfunctions. Station 5.
Seaview to flight. Seaview to flight, come in, ship. Seaview to flight. Seaview to flight, come in, ship.
Without warning, all the instruments indicate that the capsule has accelerated to the speed of light and disappeared. I need to express a little frustration. I've taken the whole thing about how all aliens can transport and we're the only ones in the universe who can't and turned it into a running gag, but nearly all of them have some kind of central gadget that they wear that does all this stuff. After a season of the Time Tunnel, 3 seasons of Lost in Space, and 4 seasons of this, Irwin's aliens have become stereotypes. We try to vary their outward appearance, but other than that, they all do the same things. There's virtually no variation in them. We can take that one of 2 possible ways. Either everybody else in the universe really is that similar and we're the odd ones out, or Irwin got into a rut. In any case, the capsule has disappeared from Earth's tracking systems. When Chip and the other man wake up, they're probably wondering if they got dosed with something.
What happened?
Nothing makes sense. We didn't dream that white light.
Doesn't look like any landscape I've ever seen. Here's something odd. Gravity 0.48.
Chip assumes the scanner is damaged. How he can look out that window and not guess he might be on a different planet is beyond me, but it'll take him a while. They're able to go outside without their helmets because all planets have breathable air. It's in the rules for planet building.
Feels like earthquake country. Never seen anything like it.
Let's not panic, Bob.
That alien was within his right to do that since Bob decided to shoot first and ask questions later. Hopefully Chip will try to communicate with it before he does anything.
I can't see.
Throw down your weapon.
You blinded me.
Throw down your weapon.
He saw what it did to Bob, so he should be glad all it did was blind him. Bob's shot didn't do a thing, but the crew of the Seaview seemed to think the .45 Colt automatic is the ultimate weapon. It almost never works that way, but they keep trying because made in America or something. The general at the SEA wants to know what's going on, as if Admiral Nelson has time to talk to him right now.
We have no sign of them at all. Capsule is probably orbiting out of control.
Yes, I'm going to duplicate the mission with our backup vehicle. If we can rendezvous with them, we might be able to pick them up.
Negative till I clear it with Washington.
But we've got 2 men up there.
Negative till clearance.
They think not. Nelson says while they're playing bean counter games, prepare the other capsule for launch. We can be ready the second the clearance comes down. And if it doesn't come down, we'll probably do it anyway. Leaving our men stranded is not in the Seaview operations manual. The SEA is supposed to send them another astronaut, and Captain Crane will ride along like Chip did. He's having a fun time trying to explain this to the Admiral. We're having a funner time watching him.
Admiral, the tracker. It's tracking. According to that, the capsule's in flight.
SEA to Seaview.
Go ahead, General.
Admiral, our monitors show your test vehicle in flight.
Yes, I'm checking into it.
Did you get direct clearance from Washington?
No. Look, stand by. I'll get back to you.
Don't you hate that? You're in the middle of a situation, your brain is all discombobulated and things are happening so fast you can't keep up with them, and then some clown with more stars than you have starts hollering, "What's going on? What's going on?" Wait your turn, General. The computer reports that they're going at light speed and heading straight for the planet Venus.
Crane to Seaview. Hello, Seaview.
I appear to have landed on a set that was left over from Lost in Space. Please acknowledge. He straps on a Colt of his own and heads out to look around.
I ask you again. When does Earth plan to invade the planet Centaur?
Earth plans no invasion.
Have you made explorations of the moon?
Yes.
Have you explored this planet, Venus?
Venus?
Yes.
Only by remotely controlled
space vehicles.
Have you explored the planet Mars?
Only by remotely controlled space vehicles.
Remember that even though this aired in 1967, the year is supposed to be 1981, we assume that by then we had at least managed to get a probe or two onto both planets. Mariner 9 wouldn't give us good pictures of the surface of Mars until 1971, and we didn't land a probe until 1976, but humans had been trying to get a probe to Venus much longer than that. The Soviet Union made the first try in 1961, but the probe failed. It was a long time before we got an accurate picture of, pardon me, the fires of hell. That's what the Venusian surface is like. In 1967, obviously we didn't know that. Those subsequent missions by the Soviet Union did tell us that the temperature is over 450 degrees Celsius and the atmospheric pressure is almost 100 times what it is on Earth. I emphasize that the Soviet Union did all that. They weren't real big on sharing information with the rest of the world, so it was a while before we knew what they found. Hence, we can get away with this.
What is your next objective?
Chip, get out of there.
By the way, he has backup. You don't. Chip confirms that this guy is his leader. He gets to go into the comfy chair next.
Who are you?
We are from the double planet Centaur, in a distant part of this galaxy. We brought you both here to our scouting outpost on Venus.
Scouting outpost, why?
To find out why you Earth people are invading other planets. What your capabilities are for invading Centaur.
We've never even heard of Centaur.
We do not believe you.
He won't believe that nobody is invading anything. So far, we've managed to put a couple of robot probes on the planets nearest to us, and it takes us years to do that. He thinks we're ready to invade the rim of the galaxy, something over 200 million light years away. For all their technology, these aliens seem to have a flaw in their capability to think. The closest we've come to invading anything was when we sent out the Voyager probes to look at Jupiter and Saturn in the late 70s. They took almost 2 years to reach their destinations. These guys think day after tomorrow we'll develop some kind of super duper drive and go hassle them. He said we're invading other planets. If he's done his homework, he knows both Mars and Venus are dead. How do you invade a planet where nobody lives? Nobody lives in my backyard either, so I guess every time I go out there, I'm invading it. I wonder if the squirrels know that.
I'll tell you what you want to know. Without this. Now first, let me explain to you how our equipment compares with yours. You see, your electrons depend on photon operation.
Oh yes, and your muffler bearings aren't sealed. We solved that problem decades ago.
Ours, on the other hand, don't have the similar...
No. We need him.
The first time I saw that, I was a little upset at him for not trying to explain the difference between invasion and exploration. But this guy already said he doesn't believe anything they're telling him, so the captain may as well save time and break their machine now. On the Seaview, they've installed a new, more powerful laser-based communication system, and Kowalski has managed to tap into the exterior cameras on the second capsule.
Earthman, resistance is useless. Surrender.
Admiral Nelson has an idea how they can help him. With this new hookup, they can operate stuff in the capsule and even talk over the PA.
Lee? Lee, I don't know if you can hear me. This is Nelson. You now have manual control of all components.
We do not wish to kill you.
Then don't. Duh.
We only want to take you to Centaur, our planet.
The answer's no!
Think about this, Greenie. If you take him against his will, you're the one doing the invading. Practice what you preach.
Do you wish to die here?
I don't wish to die anywhere!
Within 6 hours, this side of Venus will be under the direct gravitational pull of the sun. Once a month, the ground is torn apart. Everything goes into convulsion. Nothing survives.
Maybe, maybe not. He'll take his chances inside the capsule.
Remain here. I will go learn from the other one how to deal with this fire.
I don't know if it's something in the atmosphere, but everybody's thinking ability seems to be diminished. Captain Crane is doing a very foolish thing and leaving the thruster burning. I think he forgot that it doesn't have unlimited fuel.
Seaview to Crane. Lee, can you hear me?
Admiral, this is Crane.
Are you all right?
Oh, I think so. I'm still trying to figure out if this is real or some kind of a nightmare.
It's real enough. We've tracked you. You're on the planet Venus.
But how did I get here?
That's one of the things we're trying to figure out ourselves. Chip and Wilson with you.
Oh, Wilson's dead. Chip's here, but he's been captured.
He wants to know how they get home. The SEA is working on a rescue mission, but apart from how long it takes to prep a spacecraft for a mission like that, the trip itself takes 3 months or more. He explains that they have 6 hours before the place goes bonkers. All he can do is try to get Chip away from them, lock themselves in the capsule, and hope it's strong enough to ride out the chaos.
What is the nature of the fire that comes from the space vehicle?
It is a chemical combustion under pressure.
How is it stopped?
By a control inside the capsule.
Who is the Earthman whose voice I heard? One named Nelson.
Admiral Nelson is our chief. He is over all of us.
Then he knows all about these space vehicles?
Yes.
He is in charge of their movements? Of this test flight you were on?
Yes.
He radios the other one and says, "Catch that guy and bring him here while I go back to Earth and collect this Nelson guy." While he's gone, he'll put Chip in a lockup of sorts.
Turn it off! What are you doing to me?
Remain still. If you move, it will burn through you.
The Seaview has discovered there's a thin beam of light running between Venus and Earth, and they can see the track of the alien traveling along it, coming this way.
Same kind of beam as those other ones when Commander Morton and Captain Crane disappeared.
Only this time, it's coming straight toward us.
What do you think it means, sir?
It could mean an invasion. Sharky, sound general quarters.
Aye, sir.
The general quarters alarm is a klaxon. When did they install a police siren?
Centaur speaks to Nelson.
Who are you?
You are isolated. You have no communication with the rest of your planet.
I repeat, who are you?
He may be the most paranoid creature in the universe. That's who he is. He thinks because we can send a probe to Mars over a period of 1.5 years or so, we're just 2 steps away from invading him on the other side of the galaxy. Somebody needs to introduce him to the word proportion. We can send dead probes to dead planets. What a threat. The voice says, "I'm coming aboard." Nelson says, "No, you're not," and orders a crash dive.
Admiral.
Look.
Then the alien appears and says, "Yes, I am."
You are Nelson.
Yes, I'm Nelson. Who are you?
You are the leader of these men. Of the others we brought to the planet Venus.
I want to know what you are and what you're doing here.
I came for you.
Well, that's very interesting. What do you want with me?
All the knowledge contained in your mind. We wish to learn all there is to know about the ability of Earth people to penetrate space.
Again, he can put that in a 2-page pamphlet for you. We only just learned how to escape our own gravity. How did he even detect us clear to heck and gone over there? But he has to know what our current capability is, because a million years from now we might develop something better that could reach Centaur. Logic isn't his strong suit either.
Why?
Any invaders are a potential threat to us. We must know your plans, your capabilities, so we may defend against them.
We're not invaders, so why should you want to defend yourself against us?
You launched a space vehicle from this ship you call Seaview.
A trial flight, yes.
There will be others to follow. Eventually, you will reach the outer limits of this galaxy. When you do, we will be ready to destroy you.
Never mind that they probably come in peace looking for friendship and trade. Anybody who steps off their own planet is an invader.
And you want me to tell you how you can accomplish that destruction?
Yes.
You made a long trip to Earth for nothing. Take him!
He appeared out of thin air at depth. Does Nelson really think that's his only trick? He also wants to know about the Seaview and wants Nelson to give him a tour.
Well, you see, I'm needed here. I'll assign someone else. Kowalski.
Aye, sir.
And after you've completed your tour of inspection?
I will transport this vessel and you back to my planet.
He accuses them of being invaders. He hostile boards them and then essentially takes them as slaves. Tell me again who the invader is. On Venus, Captain Crane is proving that we humans really are dimwits.
Chip.
Lee? These are like red-hot steel bars in my neck.
All right, now just hold on a minute.
He's like a 9-year-old boy. Careful, that's really hot. He can't stand it. He has to touch it to see if it's true. A bullet through one of them and Chip is free.
Pass the word to all hands. Stand by for battle alert. No intercoms. Word of mouth to transceivers only. Now move out on the double.
Remember, the Colt automatic is the most powerful weapon in the universe, so if they use enough of them on this guy, he should go down.
Missile room to control.
Mr. Nelson.
He's here, sir. Okay, now.
Our guns are gone.
Or not. He's shrugging it off and continuing the tour.
It's no use. It's just too much for us. Like getting hit by lightning. It's that white orb he carries.
It can't be just the orb. There's got to be a power source he uses. That beam he came in on. Can you pull yourself together? We'll launch the flying sub. I'm going to attack his power source.
Aye, sir.
Speaking of his power source, Captain Crane is taking a look at it right now.
You will learn nothing there. Now move away.
What happened, Lee? You okay?
I'm all right. What's the matter? It's my eyes, I can see.
So anybody can use that thing. Good to know. That means he can keep his would-be captor in line with it.
All right, keep watching him. Let's see if this can give us some help with the instrumentation here.
If he can figure it out, he might even be able to get them home.
I'm ready to fire now.
It was not wise of you to have attacked the beam, and it was hopeless. The sea view is now in my control.
What have you done with my crew?
Immobilize them. The sea view will now be taken to the planet Venus, and from there to Centaur.
Captain Crane doesn't necessarily know about the beam. He's still trying to figure out the controls. Our alien doesn't know he's doing that.
It should have gone. It will require additional power from the prime source.
We're sorry, the prime source is on a break. Please call back in 10 minutes.
What do you think, Lee?
I don't know. Is this set now to send us back?
Yes, but only centaurs can operate it.
Then you'd better do it. Now, this place could come down any minute. You want to die here?
It will send us to Earth. Turn power to maximum and activate.
Can we trust him?
We don't have any other choice.
This is Centaur on Earth. I need maximum power. Activate.
How about no? The best part is he doesn't know why the answer is no.
Maximum power is required to transfer the Earth submarine to Venus. Activate at once.
If I turn up the power, he'll have the sea view here.
If we don't get back to Earth, we're dead.
All right. We'll try to stay alive in the capsule. Move.
No!
Something must have gone wrong with the main controls. We will return to Venus without the sea view.
Where'd they leave the flying sub? Last I saw it was in midair. All the Sea View's officers are missing, so Chief Sharkey is in charge.
What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Nothing. That's what.
Nothing. But Chief.
Just listen to me, kid. You will see them come back down here. Believe me.
Are you sure about that?
Sure, I'm sure. With both the Admiral and the skipper up there. And Mr. Morton, are you kidding? Listen, Patterson, the only guys in trouble are those aliens who snatched them in the first place. Just tell me when they're heading back here. I want to be ready to really pipe them aboard.
More to the point, what can they do? The Sea View can't fly, and Venus sure isn't coming here. They have one option: hurry up and wait. Sharkey knows that. That's why he's the chief and Patterson isn't.
We've arrived. With not much time to spare. Your foolish resistance on the sea view delayed me. We will have to leave this planet at once.
What about the other men you brought here?
They're with my companion. In the vicinity where the one you call Crane landed on this planet.
His plan is to send them all to Centaur. Admiral Nelson doesn't want to go to Centaur.
Again, you are foolish, Nelson. I see it will be necessary for me to relieve you of your sight.
We're only a matter of minutes left. Get us back to Earth.
I told you of my intention, Nelson. I shall convey all of us to the planet Centaur. Now stand back.
At this rate, he's going to convey them all to the afterlife. He'd be wiser to do as Nelson suggests, since the controls are already set for Earth. In the time it takes him to change them, the place could fall in on their heads. That raises the obvious question. He knew this happens monthly. Why didn't he build his outpost on the other side of the planet?
Get us out of here now, we're all dead.
I repeat, the controls at our master operations were set to return you. Activate them.
Not at the risk of bringing Seaview and its crew up here.
The alien says, I can use the orb to return us to the cave and prevent that. Give it to me. Yeah, sure.
Now, you just show me how to work it. I'll get us back.
No.
Do you tell me? Tell me or we'll all die here.
Turn it with your fingertips until 3 impulses are felt.
It's amazing how the ground falling out from under them makes them so cooperative.
What's fun? I don't know. It's not working.
But that means his isn't working either, so there's nothing to protect his head from their punches but more head. Both aliens are either unconscious or out of action, but the machine seems to be broken. He remembered the robot's power pack from Lost in Space and figured this had to be something similar.
Try it now!
When Centaur lost contact with their outpost, they concluded that Earth was too powerful and they'd be here soon. They built up their defenses, recruited millions of soldiers, and deployed them in the best positions to withstand an invasion. They maintained that posture for the next 5,000 years until everybody forgot what they were supposed to be waiting for and went home.
Chief? Another beam and headed this way again. Kowalski, sound general quarters.
Never mind. I mean, belay that. He's more fluent in nautical talk.
Hey, what a feast for the eyeballs this is. You all look so good I could kiss you. I thought, well, welcome back aboard, gentlemen.
Everybody at the Pentagon agrees. Admiral Nelson submits the most entertaining reports ever.
Captain.
It's a radio inquiry from a lecture bureau. They want to know if I'd be interested in making a tour. The subject to be the safety and convenience of making future interplanetary flights.
Well, while you're thinking of an appropriate reply, head is back for port.
He should do it and see how long it takes for them to drop him when he tells his story. We have some aliens who are afraid Earth might, what? Conquer a couple of dead planets? Colonize the moon? What accounts for that kind of paranoia? 1967. What was happening in 1967? Oh yeah, Vietnam. The free world, and especially the United States, was escalating the war there because the big bad commies might take over a little spitwad country on the backside of nowhere. Both halves of the country had made it clear they didn't want anybody meddling in their affairs. They proved that when they kicked the French out. But there are those countries who just can't keep their noses on their own faces. Americans were starting to wake up to how pointless the whole thing was. In that scenario, we are the aliens, the centaurs, terrified that somebody somewhere might exercise self-determination and do something we wouldn't do. I suspect this episode is our own little protest against the war. It's subtle, though. I mean, it's not like we made the aliens look like something else. All I gotta do is breathe underwater. Breathe underwater. Breathe underwater. During the war. So if you, okay, come on, get hey, hi, boy. Okay.